Kat here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you step by step how I used my Cricut Maker and Cricut Design Space to create these elegant ceramic ornaments. This is part one of a three-part series. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you how to make some more interesting designs and give you some more ideas. Comment below if you have any questions. Let's get to it. Open Cricut Design Space on your laptop or iPad. I'm using my iPad. I'm going to select my projects in the cloud because I have previously designed this. And if you go into customize, you can then adapt your design or change your wording or whatever you want to do. I chose the font Hopeless Romantic, which is a Cricut Access font. So it's free if you're an Access member. So for this, make sure you select vinyl before loading your mat and you have your fine point blade in the machine. The Cricut Maker will generally tell you if you have the wrong tool in the machine, and it'll ask you just to unload the mat, adjust your tools and reload. It's a nice clean cut. So that was on the blue light grip mat. For the felt, which is for the backing of the ornament, you're going to need to select felt and then select your Cricut rotary blade, which is only for the Maker. It is fabulous at cutting felt. It cuts all kinds of different materials, but I really do like it for felt. So you want to remove the fine point blade there and grab your Cricut rotary blade. So this goes in the right hand side. It's very sharp, so be careful with that blade end and make sure the cogs are all connected in the top there. And then you want the pink fabric mat. Try not to touch it too much. It is quite sticky, and then I used my brayer tool to push it down fully before loading it in. Here it's just checking that it has the rotary blade in the machine because that's what I've told it has. If it didn't have, it would say unload, and I'd switch out the blade and reload. So it quite often double checks for you when you do forget to do these things. So when it's done, the button flashes and you unload the mat. Careful not to touch the mat too much with your fingers. Peel the outside off, and it's a nice clean cut, as you can see. And now this is going to be the back of the ornament. I've got my spatula here. Just be careful because the metal can easily scratch the mats, but it means I don't have to touch the mat too much. Put that to one side. The vinyl, again, I flip the mat, peel it back, and just take the vinyl off of there. This is Cricut vinyl. This is the weeding tool, Cricut weeding tool. It's sharp at one end. And I'm going to take out the bits of the word that I don't need. I'm also going to cut the scrap off here and put to one side. I like to keep my scraps because there's a million projects that you can do with scraps, especially if you have an iPad and you can use the Snap Mat feature, which means you take a picture of all your scraps and then you can place what you want to cut within those scraps. It's very cool. If you haven't tried it, do that. So as you can see, I'm taking out the bits I don't need. Now this is an old Wet Ones container that I have repurposed. And it's really, really great. Instead of peeling off the tiny bits of vinyl and sticking them to the back of my hand, I know you've been there. I peel them off and then stick the pokey bit of this tool into the top there. And when I pull it out, the vinyl stays in the container. I actually have a rock in the bottom to stop it tipping over, and it works really, really well. So there we go, we have the word ready for our ornament. So now we're going to prep the tile. You get these in a pack of about 15, I believe, from the hardware store. And then this is the jewellery bales that I use to hang them. So I glue it to the back with the Gorilla super glue here. And I have actually pre-glued them and kept them on for at least 24 hours, held together with a peg, just to make sure that it's really glued down well. Make sure you clean your projects before you start them, especially before putting vinyl on anything. It's always good to just give it a rub down with some alcohol. So that there's no residue of anything else on there. This is contact paper I use to transfer my vinyl over. Now I can get this in a big roll, relatively cheap from Canadian Tire or somewhere. Cricut transfer tape is really good. I generally use the strong grip tape if I'm using glitter vinyl, because the contact paper isn't strong enough for that. And then if you need something that needs less stick to it, so you're putting vinyl on cardstock or something that's painted or maybe the top layer might come off, then Glad Press and Seal is actually a really good way to transfer your vinyl over without pulling anything off of your base coat. So be careful you peel it off. And then I'm going to line it up. No measuring required for this. I literally just wing it and hope that it's straight. But you may want to measure to find out where your center is. So make sure you press it down in all areas. With the thin lettering, you want to make sure it's not coming up in any places or on a catch. But you don't need to seal this with anything. Even if it was going outside and I was using permanent vinyl, for example, I wouldn't seal it. Permanent vinyl is designed to withstand all kinds of things. There we go, nice clean cut. On there. So as you can see, the back of the tile, because it comes on a sheet, isn't that pretty to look at. So I cut the felt. Again, we're using the Gorilla super glue. And just all the way around the edge of the tile and then along the ridges that stand up. There we go, put the lid back on so it doesn't dry out, and the felt just pops on the top there. This sticks pretty instantaneously. The jewellery bail does need to be pegged for a while. The same with the bow. I pegged that for a while just to make sure it's really dry. There we go, so now we have the bow to make, the ribbon for the top. Now lots of people do ask how to make these bows. You can buy bows pre-made. I like to select my own ribbon, so I do buy just the ribbon and then tie my own bows. It takes a bit of practice. And the double-sided ribbon is easier to get the bows right on. Single-sided is a bit more tricky because you have to flip the part of it around to get it to look nice at the front. There we go, you can adjust it as much as you like. Just tidy up the ends there. And there we have it. Pretty little red bow. And you need something to hang it by, so we just thread this through the bail, the top there, and I'm going to tie this in a knot. And then I'm going to glue the bow onto the front of the ornament. And there we have it. If you enjoyed today's video, please do like and consider subscribing to my channel for more videos. And if you want to know how to make some more interesting designs, I have 2 more parts to this video series. Part 2, where you will learn to make a snowflake ornament, and part 3, where we will do the infamous red truck with a 3D Christmas tree.